content. This update is going to take is going to have insane amount of content. But in order to get it right, we need more time, and we are looking into extended probably 2+ months of this update to go on.
Sweet. Welcome, everybody. I don't know who's hosting this. Is Frame hosting this, or am I hosting this? Or
you two are hosting this. I'm not hosting anything.
We're hosting this. Hey, everybody! Welcome to the stage channel. We are very excited to have you here, and it is time to clash. That is right, guys. So today we've got some really great questions here, especially for Frame. But we're going to talk a little bit about Clash Mini as it is right now. Maybe the future of Clash Mini. Maybe we can even get Frame to answer some little leaks, get some questions, find out what's happening in the next update. I don't know if we can do that or not. We'll try though. I just wanted to start this off by doing a little bit of I just wanted to ask, how has the team, or how has the developers reacted, or how has it been since you removed movement from the game? Has that been a positive thing? I've been seeing some comments from people on Reddit saying like, the game's not for me anymore, right? Yeah. There's some angry people out there, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I think people that are angry are gonna come around and come back and realize like that this is a drastic improvement to the game. So overall, the feedback has been very, very positive. We haven't gotten a single piece of feedback that's like the game is worse than before, and not to the degree it's like, oh, slightly better. No, actually the game's readable, the game's understandable, new players get it, even very, very young players as well, like they like my child as well, even like she's like having fun and she gets it now, instead of like, oh my god, when he showed up on the other side and it's like, oh my god, what's going on? So I think it's very, 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 very good improvement, especially because it's such a small thing that you cannot anticipate until you just try it. And so very, very positive feedback overall from both players and also people that work here. I mean, as you can see, I'm in Helsinki office, and every morning when I go downstairs for like a coffee or a breakfast or something, and it's like people just catch me and be like, hey, like, I've been playing the game much more. I like the game. What's going on? Like, what's the next step and stuff like that. So it's been really, really cool to see. And I am, the whole team is very, very like just motivated to kind of make a kick-ass update. So yeah.
That is exciting. I know for me personally, I think the people that are saying, hey, bring back movement, I think that they're like super hardcore people that loved that. And I think that's good and fun and fine. But I kind of feel like it's like when Brawl Stars was first in portrait, and when they moved it from portrait to landscape, it actually took away some of the skill cap, because all of a sudden they had to add auto aim in there. And so like before, if you were a Shelly, sorry for you guys that don't play Brawl Stars, but if you were a Shelly and somebody was point blank next to you, it was actually hard to hit them because you had to manually aim. You could not auto aim on them. So they removed it, and it removed some of that strategy. And those hardcore players, it was no longer the Brawl Stars that we fell in love with. And I think that that's kind of what happened here with Clash Mini, is it might not be this Clash Mini that people fell in love with. But from my experience, in my opinion, it is definitely a better Clash Mini, at least for global, right? Like maybe might be some people that don't love it quite as much anymore, but I think the game is better overall. What are your opinions, Moist Potato?
Yeah, I just know from, I also had some like doubts with this whole no movement update.
It was a big change.
Yes, and it did change. I think it's so much better, like the ease of access to understand the game, and because I've been also like inviting some of my friends that have never touched the game before playing it, and I love seeing like what it's like from a new player's perspective, and seeing them like learn how to play, like they get it like really quickly, and like it's insane because like anytime, like I've played obviously like Clash Royale and Brawl Stars for a long time, and if I'm ever like get a new friend to come join, I'm like I'm carrying that person in Brawl Stars, or it's just not even fun because I'm just destroying them in Clash Royale. But like in like a short amount of time, like they've been able to like understand enough to where even though I've been playing for a long time, it's still fun going head to head because like they understand it a lot quicker. So I definitely think the ease of access is just really really good, especially for a more global audience for sure.
Right.
Cool. Well, I love it. I love to hear it. I love to hear that other people within Supercell are excited about it as well. Last time I visited Finland, people were like, wait, I was actually wearing this Clash Mini shirt right here, right? I was at Clash Fest or ClashCon or whatever it was. They were like, wait, you think the game's going to go global? I'm like, I know it's going to go global. But they didn't have hope, but it sounds like they do have it now, which is exciting. Is that fair to say, Frame?
Yeah, I mean, not everyone. We had a bunch of people.
That's fair.
One and remain so, and I think that's what we need. We need diversity in like people's feedback. We like it's all great to for people to tell you that you've done a good update, but also we need to keep getting feedback on like what do we need further, right? Like what is the next step, and so yeah, we are focusing on that, and so far so good, yeah.
So can I ask you what the next step is?
Next step is the biggest update that Mini has ever seen, and not like so like okay, listen, we said this for update 6, we said this for update 7, but like update 8 is going to have it's going to have so much content that I am not going to physically be able to make mini minutes the way I used to. Okay, if I were to make mini minutes for every single piece of content that's coming to the game, I would probably have to make like 20 mini minutes. Okay, so we will have to discuss something different for this update because we will have to roll out. Again, we tried with multiple updates to roll out teasers and sneak peeks over a period of time. Maybe 2 weeks, maybe 10 days. People didn't like that. We know this. We know now that like that doesn't work. So we are going to try and pack all the information within like maybe 7 days or so and like roll the update out then.
Cool.
But it will be packed. Like one day it will have more than one piece of information, which is like, and that is going to just have to happen because we have so much content inside. Again, I think we all know that the game meta progression is the main point of this update, and because we kind of solved the gameplay in a way. Obviously, there's some small tweaks and improvements that we need to do.
Yeah, balance is something we can talk about later. The bandits, well,
yeah,
she's on fire right now. But you're right. Gameplay wise, balance is like a thing. I see a lot of people complaining about balance in Clash Mini. It's like just hang tight. We're working on other stuff right now. Like it's fine. Sorry for that's my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Full Frontage about this. We know there are inconsistencies in the game. Clash abilities don't connect the way they're supposed to. Some pathing is some weird pathing is happening. There are plenty of things to fix in the gameplay area, but the bigger picture, like the progression, needs to be revamped, and we need to do this the right way. And so we are going to make drastic changes to the progression to a degree where like people will know exactly which one needs to use to learn the game versus which one needs to use mid game while they're learning, and then which one needs to use that end game. And that is going to be very, very clear moving forward. So that is the idea. And so 2 days ago, we finished filming Smol Talk. I will have two special guests showing up to host it with me. And we are going to explain on a higher level on like what is the philosophy behind this progression, what do we want to do, what do we want to remove, and then also probably show some visuals of those examples. They're not going to be final. It's going to be probably some renders, some concept art. We don't know. Like it really depends on like when do we release the final version of the video. My estimate is probably sometime end of September. And that brings us into another point, and that is the timing of the update. So as I mentioned, this update is going to take, is going to have insane amount of content. But in order to get it right, we need more time. And we are looking into extended, probably 2+ months of this update to go on. Mini passes will return. We will have the same mini pass that's coming with the Grand Warden and Dagger Goblin and potentially again Pink Fury. But we are keeping that in our backlog because we need this time. Like this is the update, okay? And we need this time to kind of get it right. And in between, we will have challenges. We will have other stuff to fill in the time frame, and also we'll try our best to also reveal some of the information about the update 8 before the update 8 drops. So there isn't going to be just this super long period of time. So we still have September. Pink Fury will break the game. We also have some balancing that will change the game to a very drastic degree. We're also rewording a lot of skills and abilities and making things much more consistent sounding and feeling and all that kind of stuff. So that will happen. But on the kind of update front, we just need more time. And once you see what we are preparing, you will understand why it takes us that long.
So I think that people don't like hearing that we have to wait 2+ months before we get our next update, which I completely understand. But it sounds to me like your whole goal with this is to say, you know what, we understand maybe you guys want updates faster and sooner and quicker, but what you're focusing on is much bigger than maybe some small balance changes or Pink Fury ruining the game or whatever. Or not ruining the game, making the game very fun, broken a little bit. Is that fair to say that what you're working on is just more important than the current, maybe, I don't know, issues? I don't know, is that fair to say?
Yeah, no, I mean, to us, the highest priority obviously is to make a game that is played for years and remembered forever, and that is the mission. And in order to do that, we need to have from day one to day 365, a great experience for people, and that is the top priority, and making that experience and the feel of the game, and even from making better animations and making better gameplay from the new mini perspective. It's something that we are missing. Full Fronted just recently made a video saying that the ratio from heroes to minis is actually pretty whack right now. We don't really have a good ratio of those. So yeah, and just as Fan just said in chat, the scope of content and features is as big as making a new game. So it is something that in order to make impactful changes, we need to take that time. And we know that we can make an update that lasts for 3 months as usual, because we are able now to nail down, be all right, 3 mini passes, great content inside, new content, new gameplay, unlocking new minis, and then moving on. So once we solve that, I think it's going to be much better. So yeah.
Cool. Well, you did mention changes to progression. I guess I have a question. Obviously, you can't explain what those changes are for sure, but how does the team feel about progression right now? It seems like an update ago, progression was way too hard. And then you guys completely went to the opposite side, and now it's almost like you get minis for days. It's way too easy and free now, almost. Which I'm not complaining. I like it, but I'm curious where the team's feelings are when it comes to the actual sense of progression and what the sweet spot is, and are we there, or is that something you're trying to address with the next update?
The new team member, his name is Shuai. He joined us a few months ago, and he was in charge, and he's still in charge of all the meta progression, or the meta of the game, the meta game. And he asked everyone on the team how they feel about the game. What do they want to see? Are we at the point where our progression is good? Do we want faster progression? Do we want progression? the question was like on any kinds of like on a bunch of meetings, he invited every single team member on one-on-one and asking them the same questions to see how people feel, because it all starts with the game team. If we feel that the game progression is there, then we will keep it. If we don't feel it's there, we might as well just delete it. So it's like there is a lot of these kind of like questions and open like options. We're not here to like have like the forbidden options and like to dare to do something that like no like we dare to do something that has never been done in Supercell history before. And so we want to do something that's like very impactful for the players and to make the game also balanced from day one. And it is something that like we're considering, we're playing around, and we want to have like, because you know in a bunch of PvP games nowadays, you start a game and in third-person shooter games, all the guns are balanced. They don't really level up these days, right?
Yeah.
Or like the characters are all like with the same stats from start to finish, and so the focus is much more on cosmetic progression and cosmetics overall, and getting the cool skins, and getting the cool items and equipment and stuff like that. So we really are curious to see how that would work out on Clash Mini. So yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm excited. Whatever it is, it sounds like you got something big working on. So, quick recap. Yep. You said Smol Talk maybe sometime in September, and then update 8 sometime a couple months from now. Is it safe to say it'll happen at least by the end of the year?
Yeah. Like we may miss the anniversary in terms of the update timeline. But we are looking into what we can do for the anniversary to make it up for that. Obviously, a big update a little bit after the anniversary, is still a good celebration. Obviously, it would be nice to have an in-game event, but I do not think that it is something that like is the highest priority. I think that when the game goes global and like you can have clash anniversaries and all of these kind of events for a game that's like now consistently good, then you can have this kind of like timeline of like, all right, every year in November we are going to make the anniversary event. We're going to give away a bunch of stuff. All these kind of things are going to like be very consistent. But before that, it doesn't do anything to you if you just make an event while the game is still like just not good enough. So yeah.
I'm loving the chat right now. They're like, he said when global, not if global. I don't know if there's something in there or not, but that's either way. That's really exciting, and I'm glad that the team's focusing on stuff like that. That's really cool. Sorry, Moist Potato. I feel like I've asked all of these questions.
Good. You're on a roll, Kairos. Sorry, I'm just letting you kind of do your thing, but yeah, I can jump in right now. So, Frame, you've been talking a lot about progression and how progression seems to be, a big focus on what the team is looking at currently. And I know that from what you've talked about publicly, that the team works on like updates pretty early on. Like I'm sure update 8, you kind of already had an idea of what it was going to be at least a little bit before this current update came out. So I'm curious, knowing that you already had, certain things like, let's say, progression on the roadmap to address, since this update has come out, meaning update 7, and saying that update is a success for the most part, was there anything from this current update that you learned so far that is now being applied to future updates to address or make better that wasn't originally on the roadmap before?
I actually, funny thing is that we probably had the most predictable update that we've ever done with update 7. We were very confident in terms of no movement gameplay, and that was the main focus. So gameplay was the top priority. All credit to Fan. he wanted to make a game mode where like minis couldn't move, and we just played it, and he was like, "Hey guys, just try this out for real to be like a main game." And that was the change, and everybody fell in love with it. So we knew this is going to happen. Before that, we knew that we didn't have a great progression. We tried tiny shards, medium shards, big shards. We tried like so many currencies. We tried this, we tried that. Like beforehand, you had to use gold. Before that, you have to use. It was never the greatest experience to begin with. Like like we knew this, but we actually lacked a person to actually dedicate 100% of their energy on it. It's like, and once Shuai came in, he obviously didn't do everything by himself. He asked everybody what was the problem, and then gathered all this information from both creators and us as a team, and then was like, all right, I'm going to make a bunch of flowcharts and see where we have problems. And then let's solve it one by one. And also, obviously, we don't live in a silo. We play other games. Like we play other PvP games, and we learn from them. And it is a great inspiration for us to play the new mobile games that have come out and then have set a new standard in like, like, hey, this is how what you should focus on. And so we love that, and we've never really looked into like the older games, because again, if you want to be competitive with the current games, mobile games that are out, you need to also follow up and do it even better. So it is just a matter of that kind of fact. So yeah, in terms of progression, yeah, we definitely we knew what we had to do. Shuai made a bunch of like, there's this app called Miro, in which you can make like a bunch of like little flowcharts and like little dots and post-it notes and connect them all together. And the first time he showed us the new kind of like meta flowchart, like everybody was like, wait, this is much more complicated than anything before. But in reality, once you visualize it and once you understand how step by step the user interface is going to work, then it all made much more sense. And so we are very much on the same page right now in terms of like how the progression is going to work. So not many changes, not many surprises, but a bunch of UI changes. So basically the whole collection page, like, I mean, just poof, gone, right? Like we need to rework that. Like we need to like, what are you collecting? What is the main purpose of the game? And that is going to be the main tab. And all of that kind of stuff, and then communicating to the player what is the next step, what are you unlocking next, what are the minis that you need to play with next and to learn the game better. And so all of these things need to be like, in terms of UI, like again, the game is going to change drastically, and it's going to be crazy how much work that is all by itself. So
yeah, no, that's really good to hear. Also, I don't know if I gave a proper introduction on who I am, because there may be some Kairos fans in here that have no idea who this face is. But hello, everyone. If you don't know me, I'm Moist Potato, make Clash of Mini content. I don't know what Frame's doing in the background there, running around the table. I guess you just proved you're not in a green screen. But great. Yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, that is really good to know. Kairos, was there anything else, like big main topics that you wanted to touch on before we wanted to bring up questions that our own communities had?
Yeah, so this is a little bit off topic, if you're okay answering this, Frame. Can we have any information about Clash Heroes? Even if just like, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. You know, and you don't have to answer.
You don't have to answer. Guys, well, you know what's funny? You know that like people are desperate that when Kairos is asking about the game, because like even he doesn't, like, and he's like the super creator for like years. Like this dude like should know something, but he doesn't know anything.
I have no idea what's happening with Clash Heroes. The last I heard was a long time ago.
Well, I mean, listen, the team is like head down into their keyboards, like working hard.
So it's not dead.
Well, I mean, we haven't announced anything yet, so okay. It's like, you know, we will use that account on social media once we have something to say. So yeah, I'm just giving the team enough time to do so.
Cool.
And it like, you know, there's not much really else. So yeah, I'll just let them let me know how they feel about the game and how things go.
So no guarantee it actually gets into a beta. No guarantee that it goes global. We just don't know right now. But at least it is not dead right now. That's what we know.
Yeah. The team is there, and
Cool.
they're working really hard, and they really want to make the best game. So yeah.
Okay, cool. That was my question. Actually, I've already asked a lot of my questions from my audience. A lot of them just wanted to know about the possibility of Clash Mini going global, what this next update might hold. It sounds like you guys are kind of putting all eggs in one basket kind of a thing, and hopefully it turns out for the best. I'm really excited. I have always loved Clash Mini since the first day, and you know what? I knew that it had its problems, and it'd probably be... I didn't think it would be this long of a beta, I'll be honest. But... I'm excited. Every change that has been made, I feel, has been pretty fantastic, and no movement. I'm excited about that. So let's turn some questions over to Moist Potato. I know that his audience has a little bit more of the more hardcore side of Clash Mini. Probably wants some answers on some stuff.
Yeah, so definitely like the biggest questions, you know, have already been, you know, asked and answered, but some more, you know, niche questions I wanted to get into were originally in this update, you were able to earn trophies from rumbles. Correct me if I'm wrong, from draft rumbles, right? But
for like a
there
day,
was
right?
a bug for one day, and there was a bug that basically the only way to fix it at that moment was to disable trophies for draft rumbles. In this next update, will we see trophies come back to rumbles? And if rumbles are staying as a draft game mode, how will basically the competitive side of Clash Mini, like, do you think will like react to a 1v1 duel and draft rumbles being compared to each other?
So I know that we wanted to bring back trophies much faster than to wait for a whole new update. So I think there is still plan to bring back the trophies. It's now, yeah, I mean that's the fair question. Like, do we want to have it all mixed inside? I think Rumble is still intended to be unpredictable and unreliable, like, source of trophies in a way, because it's like, you know, it is draft. Like, you don't have full control over this, and it is like kind of like in between like event and the serious kind of like trophy climbing game mode, at least right now. I actually don't know exactly if there's any like major changes coming to the Rumble itself. But like for now, they just want to fix the trophy gain and then enable it once again. And that I think the feedback was from the original draft that we had as an event game mode that people did like it, and it was very, very fun. It was a little bit different. You know, you could jump in and just like, you know, have fun, not really worry too much about like, how many trophies I'm gonna get and that kind of stuff. So it is definitely a little bit more casual kind of feeling, and I think that is intended. Now, like, to be honest, as a player myself, I actually don't care if I get trophies or not in Rumble at all. Like, you know, if you get some, great, as long as I don't like lose a dramatic amount, like, I'm fine. So I think that's okay, and kind of working as intended. But yeah, I mean, I will have to come back to you guys. I will actually. I can actually also even like direct message you and like tell you what is the plan for Rumble. Like, that's not gonna be like something that's like that it should be like something drastic happening to it. So yeah, just I'll let you know after the call, and we can also drop that info potentially on Twitter or other places.
Cool.
So
yeah. So is it basically safe to say that like the plans for draft rumble is to essentially be a high risk, high reward complement to duels then, in terms of trophy gaining?
Yeah, I mean, that was the original intention anyway. And so like it wasn't really like a grand like a grand plan behind it. It was just like, having another option on top of the main duel.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. That's great to hear. I had a couple more. I'm just gonna do the highest rated questions that were asked.
While you're trying to find the right question, I want everybody in chat, wherever you're watching this, or live or whatever after the fact, I want you to let us know whether you like Rumble or Duels more. I know what my answer is. What do you like to play more? Okay, looks like most people in the live chat are saying Duels. I love Rumble. Rumble's the best.
I'm gonna say I probably would like Rumble more if I could earn trophies from it. So maybe I'll like it more in the next update if it doesn't change too much.
Cool. Right. I was curious. I love it.
For me personally, I'd say Duel only because Rumble takes way too long to do a match, and I just want to get into it, get out of it.
Okay.
That's my reason.
If you know you're losing, you just hop out, right?
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, sorry. I just had to ask.
No,
I like to know what people like. Okay, sorry, Moist Potato. Go ahead and ask your question.
No worries. Here, let me see. Oh, here's one. Someone named ShiuMing said for the millionth time, when will the mini news scream be added as a sound effect?
Oh, I mean, right. ShiuMing, like, I mean,
for those of you who don't know,
can you imagine?
ShiuMing is a fantastic Clash Mini content creator. Moist Potato's throwing some shade right now.
It's the joke. ShiuMing is awesome content creator, and he has this series called Mini News where he just goes, and it's awesome. So yeah, I mean, but like adding that as a sound effect when every time you click Mini News at the top right, I don't know, we need to probably add some delays to that kind of sound effect so people don't spam it and make videos about it. And also, like, there's this whole thing about like using voices of other people in games and the whole like legal, it's not that easy.
I have a feeling he'll sign whatever you want him to.
For Kairos, who's kind of new to this stage channel, that question is a kind of a tradition.
Oh, is it? Okay.
At least once every single Discord stage channel by ShiuMing.
That's funny.
Anyways, my last real question that was asked from the community, which may have kind of already been answered, but it was the most rated, so I feel like I need to ask it. Can you ask what do they think about the current state of in-game currencies? Because in my opinion, they're in a pretty bad state, especially gold and gems.
Yeah, I mean, gold is, again, this is like the 1% problem that we're having right now. So some people have like millions of gold, hundreds of thousands of gold. We added the chests that you can open up with gold every day if you want to sink the gold. But we know that's not the best solution, and it's not a permanent solution. And gold will change its role, and it's going to be the general currency of the game. So it's not going to be like something that's like used very rarely. But the good news is that the new players don't have really gold issues because every hero it costs 16,000 gold for a new player to unlock. And so it takes time to get 16,000 gold. Then on top of that, you have other like you also can buy like minis and other things like with gold as a new player. So you can definitely see that like the kind of gold accumulation situation is not really a thing for new players until they like hit like everything maxed out, nothing to unlock further, and then start accumulating it. And yes, it is a problem at the end. And yes, we know it's a problem. So we'll rebalance it. We will rework currencies anyway, and then we'll just let you know what the exchange rates and do the numbers stay the same or do the numbers like transfer over. But anyway, we have a solution, and there's gonna be there's going to be reworking done on that front. Yeah.
Cool. And I know I said that was my last one, but I do have another one that did get a lot of likes. This one for real is my last one. Before we may open it up to the floor, but another question that was asked is, will there be soon, even not in this update, but the next few updates, a rework or redesign in what OGs remember as expeditions, and today people know as puzzles, or any kind of single player campaign?
Truth to be told, most of the expeditions were designed by Fan. These levels were puzzles that he wanted to use to teach people how to play the game, with weird scenarios where you have a bunch of spear goblins throwing spear into all the lanes except one. Then you kind of dodge, you kind of learn the game, you kind of figure it out, and then later down the line you get these like hardcore expeditions and puzzles that you need to solve. But since there's plenty of them made, and every time we kind of like rebalance, I can hear myself, Moist Potato, on your, like, I'm getting some feedback.
I'll turn that down.
All right. Yeah, so basically the idea was like to teach people through expeditions how to play the game. But what we realized very quickly is that every time we do balancing changes or rework of certain heroes or minis, we have to also address all the levels in expeditions to be able to balance it. So that wasn't the greatest use of our time. And then comes update 7, and we rework and introduce more stuff. And then you need to come back and redo every single level there to balance it with Grand Warden. Then Pink Fury comes out in September, and oh boy, guess what? Like, maybe she's gonna one-shot all the expeditions. Who knows? We don't know, because we never even tested it to a full degree and have enough time to rebalance it all together. So it was about like asking ourselves, like, is this like the best use of our time in order to make the best game possible? Yeah. Yes, puzzles are fun, like, and having like a kind of single player experience in the game would be actually amazing down the line. But at this current moment, if we are already reworking tutorial and new player experience and unlocking minis and learning the game in the right way, it almost feels like that expeditions are not even needed. So we are heavily considering not really even having expeditions. Until we can actually do them the right way. So kind of like having something that's like actually dedicated for you to like do on a side as like a little missions and little quests and challenges and whatever. But we may just also like create challenges for the players. So something that's like really, really hard to do. And then be like, hey, do you want to do this and get really cool reward? Yeah. But as Fan just said in chat, probably after global, if we can go global, then, you know, like we might bring them back and make them much more like dynamic and adapting to your deck and, you know, all these kind of like weird, cool ideas that we may have. So yeah, let's come back to them once we actually have enough time to kind of dedicate like, you know, a quarter of an update time to kind of like actually work on them, or even more. Who knows?
Cool. Awesome. Well, those are some of the questions. I think those are all. Yeah, those are all the questions that I have. Unless Kairos has anything else to share, maybe we can start opening up to the floor.
I just like the fact that Fan said "if global," and now the chat has lost all hope. Fantastic. No, I'm great. Let's open it up and get some other questions in here.
All right, then I'll open up then. So what we'll do is Kairos will pick first, then Moist Potato, then I'll pick.
Perfect. So people will raise their hand, right?
Yep, you'll just start seeing people with hand icons. You can just.
And do I just click on somebody?
No, you just tell me and I'll invite them.
Oh, go with Fungary.
Fungary, okay. Sending you invite.
That was the first one I saw.
Oh no, let's hope it's not a mobile issue. Fungary, you have the
yes, and the mobile
invite.
Yeah, the mobile UI on Discord has been a problem.
Oh shoot!
Like for a while.
Okay, well we'll see if Fungary can join. Otherwise, let's go with full frontage.
Yeah, look, because Fungary can't. He's on mobile.
Dang it!
Yeah.
Fungary, you can ask right there in the chat. We'll watch for
Yeah,
it.
just type in chat and we'll answer.
Yeah. Let's go with full frontage for now, and we'll check it.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the party.
Hello.
All right. Well, some exciting information so far. Moist, Kairos, you guys are doing a great job as hosts as well. So,
Thank you. You're doing a
Thank
great
you.
job as guest speaker. Guest
oh,
questioner.
thank you. I appreciate
Go
that.
and ask your question now.
Okay, so I know this will probably come with update, but for frenzy mode, there's some inconsistencies with it in terms of if a stun goes off like at 11 seconds from the Electro Wizard, the full 4-second timer, the unit stays stunned instead of having it that 3 times quicker.
Yep.
Is there an update that might come out to fix those potential issues, or is it going to have to wait until update 8 for frenzy to kind of be like rebalanced?
I am not entirely sure if this requires a client update or not. So this is a very technical question that you need an engineer to answer this. Sure, at least to guarantee. But thankfully, you have ways to ask this.
Yes.
So like there is going to be. So yeah, I mean, as you know, we just kicked off a huge balancing discussion.
Yep.
Like I think the thread has like 100 messages in it already, where people are like giving feedback on the upcoming balance changes, and in there, it's also considering like when we're reworking something to also consider frenzy time in it. So there is ways to like, even if we cannot change frenzy time the way it works, aka does it speed up the stun effects and stuff like that, we can also play around with it and make it last as much as we need to for the frenzy time to make sense. But yeah, it again, as I mentioned, like clash abilities, frenzies, timers, consistency of the game is being looked at from a very heavy perspective, and we did get some help from the guys on that have worked on Clash Royale and Clash of Clans before on balancing and kind of like helping us out. So
Yep.
it is looking promising. So yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks for your question, full frontage.
Coming up full
Thank you.
frontage.
And we do have our question from Fungery.
Yeah.
Can we make the favorite troops be manually changeable instead of it being the highest played ones?
Oh, so the profile overview. I don't think we will be able to tweak it to that degree. Wait, let me think. So yeah, I mean, yeah, for now it's passive, it's automatic, it just shows you what you play the most. That's it. It would be ideal if you could show your deck that you love the most at the moment on your profile, but I don't think there is like a feature that we're planning to improve that, because it's such a small thing. It's just like something that's like, oh well, it's not even a quality of life, it's almost like a thing that would be cool to have kind of feature. So it's like it wouldn't like rank very high on a priority list, especially because like the user interface will be reworked anyway. So like considering that on top of it, it would be it wouldn't be super high priority.
It's a good question. I know that there are people out there like Boo. Sorry,
Yep.
who will play Shield Maiden even though Shield Maiden might be terrible at the time, just so that it pops up there on their favorite troop. Or yeah. Okay, Moist Potato. You pick somebody else.
Let's go with Blueberry Clash Mini.
Blueberry, okay.
It is mobile user though, so keep in mind.
Oh,
that.
I do see the mobile
How are you
icon.
picking
That's
people?
not good.
How can you see
How
that
do
they're
I-
mobile?
Yeah.
If you look at if you click on their profile, you'll see the mobile icon as their symbol.
Oh,
I can just see it in the request list. There is a little mobile
Oh,
icon next to their names by default.
interesting.
Yeah, you can type a question, Blueberry. That's fine.
Yeah. In the meantime, we can jump to another person.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll in that case, I will pick Spoob.
Boob, okay. Where's Spoop?
Is it spoopy?
I think
is that yeah, spoopy.
Okay.
Wait, maybe is that actually? Oh, that's not actually spoop.
I'm not
It's not
spook.
spook.
I'm not
But we've
spook.
got
Just saying, like,
That's okay.
just to let you know.
Ah, you got tricked.
Okay. Well, if I could ask it, then this question, I've talked to this with some people. So we've been grinding for these 3,000 profile icons. We want to know if you said before that the cosmetics will not be exclusive, and that they'll be re-released. Will the 3,000 profile icons be re-released when you re-release these mini passes, or are they just going to be exclusive for the players that got them?
So we're discussing that right now. So it is a big, it is very important for us if we're moving towards the cosmetic future to be very clear where the sources of cosmetics will be and to remain so. So we are like at least at the moment we are not we shouldn't be bringing these back in like shop or something. It's like that would be kind of like very strange. But it like we need to figure out an exact consistent way of like also messaging this and telling you guys like how like prestigious these things are. One thing that we've been playing around, and I talked to Shuai yesterday actually during lunchtime, was that we wanted, even in case, this is just a like hypothetical right now, even in case we bring something that was time limited or like exclusive for a certain like place, like 3,000 trophies, even if we bring it back, it should be a variant and not the same exact thing. So like, for example, if you guys got a Scully avatar, which was so far I think the hardest avatar to get in the game ever, like if we were to bring it back, I don't know, 6 months, a year later, there should be an indicator or like a visual difference that this is not the original version of it. So we want to be very clear to indicate that like, oh, if you actually played in this period of time, you can show it off and you can say, oh, okay, you do not have the OG version, but the new people can get the non-OG. And that I think is probably the best feeling solution right now, because we still want to honor the people that have did put in the grind and deserve such a reward. So that's something that we're thinking, yeah.
Thank you very much. That's a great. I'm very happy to hear that. And I'm gonna real quick go and cry in my bathroom because I did not get Scully and I got the fire icon one, and now I am so sad. I got 2,900 trophies. Thank you very much. It's great to know. It's great to know.
Bathroom floor. I did want to. That was something interesting you said that I want to clarify. Get you to clarify for me, Frame. You did say earlier that because we're extending this update, essentially, you say, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that the Grand Warden mini pass, like if those didn't unlock Grand Warden in what was it, July, will that come back in October?
Yeah, that was that is the intention. Yeah.
So does that also include then the Scully? Because the Scully was the avatar to unlock for July. Does that mean that will come back in October, or is that being like locked in for July only?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if we can do that, but I will double check with Try and see if we can rerun the trophy road as well, and I'll let you know.
So
please
might be a chance.
Follow this up with me on Discord or any other place, and just like follow and just like remind me, because this is easy to answer.
I didn't get either one, so whatever.
Same.
There might be an opportunity.
Let me buy it for $40, Frame. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Kairos got like 7 days. Okay, I'm gonna leave the stage now. See you guys.
Awesome.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thanks, man.
I feel comfortable too. All right,
cool.
it's my turn. Actually, wait, hold on.
Well,
Blueberry,
you pick.
Blueberry asked this question. Blueberry
Oh,
asked
yeah.
this
Oh.
question from before. He asked, will you add minis that take up a larger area than just one by one? For example, Full Frontier said he wants a more diverse team mini. So could you add more unit size? For example, Royal Recruits in Clash Royale.
Well, okay. I don't know if there is a plan to like create like a unit that's like multiple minis in one. It is a little bit of a challenge from like just visual readability slash like game design perspective. I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it right now.
Like the golem, a
But
2x2.
yeah. No, I don't think they will take more space, at least in this update. But
I mean, they're supposed to be minis.
Yeah, they're supposed to be mini.
I'm just kidding.
Giant ones supposed to be mini, so it's gonna like that's the problem. But no. I mean, I don't think there's like a as I mentioned, the team is open to like doing weird stuff. Like we just think it's there's a difference between doing something weird for sake of doing something weird versus making something functional and actually like playing well. So it's just that kind of a balancing problem. So yeah.
Fair enough.
This is a good question. I like that.
We are 7 minutes away, so we can do some rapid fire as well. Hopefully.
So I just changed the channel topic of this stage to see if it'll fix the mobile issue. So I'm gonna pick Abdude because I know he had the issue before. So how's it looking, Abdude? No, I don't think it's working still.
Don't think it's working.
Same. Yep. Okay. We can opt on the chat in that case, and I'll pick somebody else. I'll pick Previak.
Hey guys.
Welcome. Yeah.
So my question about tiles. I think a lot of people right now think that like the second tile that spawns on round 3 is a bit random because it can ruin whole your setup. For example, you place queen on the right edge, and then for example, one tile spawns on the left on her. So basically, you can't save her with Ice Wizard first tile ability from Fisherman. And I think that it is kind of bad thing. So do you have any thoughts about how to fix this issue? Did you think about it or no?
I don't. I personally am not aware of any changes to the spawning of the tiles mechanic. I think, I mean, yeah, there are some scenarios that are non-optimal for especially for the competitive play. But I don't know. I know there's going to be some balancing done to the tiles as well to make them more fun and also like to rework some of them. I think so. That may solve some of the issues where like the frustrating tiles are going to not be so frustrating, but I will have to follow this up as well with you and let you know if we do have some plans, and then you can just let everybody else know.
I did share I don't know if this is cool with me sharing, Frame, but I did share a solution for this in our group chat, and it was that you can see where the tile is going to appear earlier on in the match, so you can actually plan around it. And the response that I got at the time was, we have considered this, and it's not completely off the table, but it also might not be what we do. So I don't know if that answers your question, but it sounds like they're at least aware of this concern that you're bringing up, Previak.
Yeah, I think the problem with this solution can be that, like, in the next round, for example, in round 2, they show us where the tile can spawn, and then in round 3, we see that opponent plays something on this tile, so there can't be this tile. So that's something you need to think about.
Yeah, I think the reason why you got that answer, Kairos, is that like it also needs testing, and also like a bunch of these suggestions we can try very quickly, but then we need to also see how we feel about them and just to play them. And if it doesn't feel well, then it is what it is.
People are saying that I stole their suggestion. I took it off of Reddit, and I gave credit with the link, so I don't know. Sorry for frontage.
Okay, guys.
Thank you. That was a great question.
Thank you.
Coming up, Previak.
One more.
Fan, I think you should pick. As he's running around, turning on the motion sensor lights. Pick somebody, Fan, or Frame, or Fan. Oh, I said Fan. I meant Frame, but Fan could pick somebody too.
Yeah, let's do one from me and one from Fan if he's still around.
Awesome.
Or if Fan wants to ask a question, that'd be fun too.
Yeah, Fan, write your pick from the hands up.
Frame, pick me.
Oh, frame pick for me. So I picked 2 people. Wow.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, so much pressure. All right, let's get Flacco. Flacco up in here.
Flacco.
Hello.
Flacco.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You.
Winner Station.
Welcome.
All right. So my question is, thank you. My question is, so people are talking about expanding the deck size, right? But expanding the deck size means having a good balance in the game. So if you guys do decide expanding the deck slots, will the map also expand since it's gonna be like too crowded?
Yep. So we play tested 6 minis and 1 hero already, and that was a little bit messy and a little bit yeah. So basically, you got the answer in the chat. We tried. Battle became really chaotic from Fan himself. I also played, and it wasn't readable. It's very funny how such a small change can make the game just like completely unreadable and like not very fun to play, because you get so much less space, you get so much less strategy, and yeah, I mean, to your point, it would require a bigger map. So then, we do have the Misty Forest obviously to play with. So I think if we do expand the core game again, I'm talking about just the duels, like pure like main game mode. I don't think like that would happen. But yes, a new a game mode itself where you have more minis and more heroes on the Misty Forest map, then yes, that would totally make sense. I mean, that's easy, and that would make sense to do. One thing that I note to all of you is that Fan is probably always unhappy with just making it more minis and bigger map, and that's it. Like, he wants to like spin it in a way that's like a little bit more original to Clash Minis. So it may come in some update, and we may have like a backlog of like events that we want to do, because Fan is actually making all of the events for the game. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Also, just saying, I think I should have an exclusive SK skin on Clash Mini. Just saying, Frame. Just saying.
Sure, we can consider that.
Thank you for answering my question, and yeah,
Coming up
you guys have a
next.
good one.
I'm surprised that
Alrighty.
triple hero draft wasn't on the Misty Forest board.
Yeah, that's
a lot of
like,
minis to put on a small
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, exactly. Well, triple hero is almost like just an example of like how chaotic things are. So it's kind of like, hey, proof of concept. So yeah.
Well, it's fun. My favorite game mode.
Yeah. Alrighty, the last one. I'm gonna ask Sid Royale, and I know he is not. He's on a mobile, so he'll probably have to write his question because he's unable to accept the invite. It's already wrote the question. Raids will be sidelined at the moment, or at least the rewards be boosted. So the raids, again, are something very similar to the expeditions. They work, but not to a satisfaction and degree that we want them to work. And so we need more time to do them right. So we will just not have them in update 8. I'm sorry, because it's just something that like we're not happy with, and it's like we don't want to have a feature that's like not polished enough and not fun enough for the client to work on. So yeah, there's just like we just don't have enough time to make it right, and it takes time. It takes time from the art side, from the engineering side, from the game design side, and then like testing all of that and giving feedback and making it right. And again, you guys probably are thinking, oh, well, just make the better rewards and harder boss and problem solved. The problem is not only that, you need to also figure out the whole loop of what do you get and what is the motivation to keep playing. It is something that's like, I think, post-global kind of edition and update to the game. That's like, all right, the clans are now working together. The clans are like competing or whatever the idea would be, but that is not going to motivate new players to like learn the game and get better at the game in the beginning. So I would love to have more social features and to play with your friends and do all that kind of stuff. But sorry.
Well, I mean,
if
if
you
it means
don't
we get
mind,
update 8, the biggest update ever, then I'm okay with it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it kind of sounds strange to say that this is the biggest update while we're cutting some of the things from the game, but it is in favor to kind of like.
There's so much you literally have to take stuff out of the game to make room for it.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Actually, yes. We have so much, like there's not enough room to fit everything all in. So yeah.
I mean, this update, you kind of did the same thing. You took away movement, and it ends up being better. So, who are we to judge?
Now you just need to make it landscape, and it'll be ready for global. Just follow him for All Stars.
No,
Bring
I
back
like.
Alpha.
No, Clash Mini is a portrait game. It would look weird landscape. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
No, fan, shut up. Fan, shut up. Fan, go away. Go away.
Fan just said landscape is a good idea. He said it can work.
Oh, like I want my game to be playable like on the metro while I'm like using one hand. Like there's like it's like one thing that I really like about the game. It's incredible how different it is, yeah. But no, yeah, I mean the game originally was landscape. It's like that's not a secret. Like really early, like years like beforehand, like it was considered to be landscape, and then like pretty quickly, we realized that like if you want to simplify everything, then like this is like there's this kind of like I always felt like there's this kind of mental kind of like jump that you need to do where like you're on a public transport and like you're using your phone and you're looking at your phone portrait mode and nobody knows if you're playing a game or you're like browsing social media or what else.
We're texting friends. The moment you go because we have friends.
Yeah, but the moment you go landscape, that means you're either watching a YouTube video full screen or you go hardcore gaming session, right? And like that's something that's like very distinct. And I think in the West, especially, there is still this kind of like feeling that like once you go landscape, you're like a serious gamer and like serious person about your mobile device versus somebody that's just like, playing casual game.
See, that's the thing though. Like, I'm there ready to flex my gamer status. Playing Brawl Stars, I'm like, yeah, baby, I'm going port or landscape. Let's go.
Especially when you have like these like flex and
claw grip, claw style is what they call it.
Yeah, like
the foldables
phone with like it's a square, so you don't even know if it's like horizontal or vertical. Yeah, there you go.
I'm literally in a Samsung campaign right now, which this is my daily driver either way, but it's funny.
That's a gorgeous device, and it's like, and that's the thing, like you can't. I think those lines are slowly blurring away, and people don't really bother. Like, but it's just something to. And yeah, fan loves gaming, and he plays a bunch of games that are landscape. But again, for me, in terms of accessibility, in terms of like convenience, I think the game just works just fine in portrait. So not a big deal, at least right now.
That's fair. I do wish there was a content creation or an esports type of viewing experience to make it a little bit easier. But I honestly think that it'd be better in portrait. I don't know. It's hard to create content that is traditionally landscape for a portrait game. But that's a whole other thing. That's not that important for everybody that's listening and watching. So
who knows? Maybe like 2-3 years out, like if the game would go global, like we would just like have like a toggle.
He
like
said
go
if.
hardcore.
Oh no, he said if now.
He said it again. We caught him lacking. Now he's like purposefully saying if. Now.
Yeah, he knew he had to slip that in there. Oh man, that was fantastic. Hey, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming and answering all of our questions, and also for letting Moist Potato and myself come and be a part of this.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all. And heads up, September state channel may not happen at all because I'm taking some time off. Because I haven't taken a single time in July off at all.
deserve it.
In case you noticed, I've been tweeting quite a bit during July. So I will be taking some time off in September, not whole September, but like probably at least half of it. And so don't worry, I'll be still checking things around. The creators have access to me even easier. So don't worry about it. And yeah, we may have somebody else come on state channel except me. So let's see. I'll try to figure it out. So yeah, thank you all for coming, and yeah, I will see you guys everywhere else.
Perfect. Have fun on vacation.
Awesome. Yep.
Bye, guys.
Thank you all.
I'm gonna stop
Bye.
recording.
Bye.
We'll see you guys later. Have fun.